It's good to see you, and it's good to be seen by you, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Monday night, and I hope you all had an absolutely wonderful weekend. I, of course, am Bill Sylvie, aka the Dungeon Delver, coming to you live, loud and clear from an undisclosed location somewhere in the swamps of Central Florida. And let me just address something real quick. First of all, I want to thank everyone who's reached out to me to make sure that I am okay, that everything is good to go, and I am. I very much am. Where I am in Central Florida, we have gotten like tornado warnings and severe like thunderstorm warnings. Has been all the storm has impacted us. It was a hot, rainy, blustery day today. That was it. Please, if you know someone in the panhandle of Florida, if you know someone in southern Georgia or in the Carolinas or even in the coming days in Virginia, reach out to them and make sure they're okay, because the storm is still very active. It cut through the panhandle today. It did land as a hurricane. Now, we joke here in Florida about hurricanes, but we actually take them very seriously. You know, it's kind of whistling past the graveyard for us when we talk about these things, and we never say, ha, that was a nothing burger or anything like that. If you hear somebody say, oh, that was nothing, you know, in reference to a hurricane, or, you know, yeah, I live in Florida and we did all this prep and then it was for nothing. Odds are they're transplants. Okay. Now we'll talk about storms. Like, you know, you'll hear a lot of old timers like myself talk about like 2003 or 2004, when we had 4 hurricanes hit us in the space of like 7 weeks. You know, we'll talk about how, well, at least this wasn't as bad as Andrew, at least this wasn't as bad as Ivan, at least this, and so on and etc. So we might downplay a hurricane compared to others, but we take them absolutely seriously here. So never think that if, you know, I kind of jokingly say, well, that was nothing, that I actually mean that. We, you know, if that storm had been 75 miles further south, my house probably would have been boarded up. You know, we'd have gotten the canned food organized and you know, made sure the grill was going to work and everything like that. So do not think for a minute that that we don't take it seriously here, because I very much do. I very, very much do. And I thank you all for checking in on me about that. Welcome to everyone who is not just watching on YouTube, but who is watching over on Twitter. Let me ask you a favor. If you're watching over on Twitter and you haven't already, please come over here and subscribe on YouTube. You can continue to watch on Twitter if that's the place where you want to be. But really, guys, it would super duper help if you would subscribe to me over here on YouTube. I'm at the Dungeon Delver. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subs on YouTube, because something fantastic is going to happen. When I get to 10,000 subs, I am going to have an in real life, a real convention. I'll organize it. I'll put everything together. It'll probably go as well as everything else that I do, but I will do that. That is my goal. That is my desire. And at last glance, I was at 6,285 subscribers. So I'm really not that far away. I am thousands, not thousands and thousands, thousands of subscribers away, specifically 3,700 and change. So again, if you're watching over on YouTube, or if you're watching over on Twitter, please consider coming and clicking the subscribe button on YouTube. Even if you think it's icky and you just want to go back and watch me on Twitter, I would appreciate it. But regardless of what you do, hi, how are you? I hope you're really well. Let me just go through real quick and say hi to all you guys. Hello, Mead Morning, Noble Shield. Who else we got? Graph Paper Architect. Hello to you, sir. Michael Dale, always good to see you. Joe Kaufman, welcome. Kinnick, hello. Josh Butler, always good to see you, Josh. Jorge Uribe, I hope things are good where you are, sir. Tim Imholt, and I'm going to mention Tim again in just a second. The Wheeling Dragon, hello. The Labyrinth Lady herself. Lord Coron, good to see you. Jimmy Invictus, hope you're on the mend, my friend. Get better soon. Dirty History and Hobbies, Orbital Air, Vincent Notabartolo, and Vincent is my Guardo Camino on something I'm going to be talking about tonight, although I don't have the pictures over here, unfortunately. Shin Chara, good to see you. Calvin Noni, Danny, David Brown, and Christopher Sackle. Hello to you all. And I know there's some other folks out there, maybe you're watching and you just don't like typing in comments, or you're listening and what have you. Hello to you all very much as well. And so I had kind of an interesting today. Tim got me over onto a live stream for reasons that I still have yet to puzzle out. Tim's a pretty sharp guy, and so he wanted me on to talk about the economy. The markets took a wallop this morning, and things are, well, let's just say we focus on the happy, being pretend elves on graph paper in here, because things are like that out there. So, it was a great discussion. We had a Graph Paper Architect on, but we kind of talked about the creaking sound coming from the cantilevered bridge that is our economic system today, and that was kind of interesting. So thank you, big ups to Tim. Thank you very much, Tim, for having me on. And by the way, I just want to mention, if you are watching on Twitter, if you click the actual link, it will take you and you can comment. I will see your comment. Your comments come back over here. Unfortunately, I can't type at your comments, and you don't see like all the YouTube comments, which is again why I say if you want to interact with the chat, you might want to come over to YouTube. And something else that is super helpful, if you haven't already. If you're watching this on YouTube, if the winds of YouTube have blown you this way and you haven't already, please do click the subscribe button, click the bell icon for notifications. And if you like this video, do give it a thumbs up, and that will be extremely helpful. I do appreciate that. So I mentioned Vincent. I mentioned Vincent because Vincent does really awesome stuff. And the guy will like fire hose you with cool things. Like you can just be sitting there, what's the meme? Like nobody, absolutely no one, absolutely nobody. And then Vincent just like 25 images of his table setup and his book haul and his cool ass minis. And I love it. I'm here for it. It's really awesome. And I enjoy the hell out of it. So Saturday evening, he started pinging me and was like, hey, I went to Target. I bought all these cool Icons of the Realm minis, pre-painted WizKids D&D minis. And what did you got a Lemur and a Blink Dog and some really cool stuff. And then he bought off the shelf the Holmes Basic Red Dragon mini that I pre-ordered and was supposed to have been here already. And it's at freaking Target. I pre-ordered this from IGN. I am so unhappy with IGN. I am basically, I'm calling them out right now. Don't buy your stuff from IGN. All right. I shouldn't have jumped on it. I thought it was like a limited run. It was just one of those impulsive things. And it was in January of this past year. I bought this on my birthday. I splurged and got myself a birthday present, and April rolled around. It's not here. I checked the IGN website. Well, it's coming in July, my bro. So, okay, all right, that's cool. July came and went, and I get this kind of, hey, we don't control when this stuff comes out. You'll get it when you get it email from IGN. And now I'm seeing the stuff on the store shelves. What I should have done was gone to my FLGS, Gods and Monsters, right here in Orlando. What I should have done was gone there and said, hey, Todd and Anna, order me this. Please get this from your distributor. That's what I should have done. Shame on me. Shame on me. So that's my fault. That's my mistake. You don't have to make that mistake. Don't buy D&D minis from IGN. Don't buy them from their store. Support your FLGS like I should have. And if I can figure out how to cancel this order once I confirm that my buddies Todd and Anna can get one of those bad boys in, I'm doing it. So no mini mail call, just a mini rant tonight. Not happy, Bob. Not happy about that at all. And in case you're wondering what I'm talking about, let me see if I can find real quick exactly what I'm talking about. So let me pull this up. Let me see if I can find this. This we'll do that. Is what I'm talking about right here, guys. I'm gonna add this. Share screen, window, beep, beep. That's what I'm talking about. The Holmes Basic Red Dragon, as drawn by David C. Sutherland. I really like one of those on my shelf, and it's not a tiny thing. It's like 120 millimeter base on it. So that's what I want. IGN, Robert Phillips, not IJN. So, yeah, not happy, Bob, not happy. But anyway, I'll have to sort that out, guys. I'll just have to sort that out. I might have missed some questions or comments. Vincent said he'd never seen WizKids at Target before. They're going like full court press. They want to blow this stuff out, the 50th anniversary, and come year 51, try and start making us forget classic D&D again. Icky Gary Gygax, we must purge, must cleanse. So I suspect that's why they've been dumping it on Target. Because I remember back in the summer of 2016 or 2015, when 5e first came out. I saw starter sets in, I remember I took a picture with my very not great phone. I'll get to it, Orbital. I'll get to it. Don't worry. I'll get to the schedule. But I remember seeing the 5e starter sets in Walmart, just like not up in their specialty games with cards, just sitting on a browser display at Walmart. I thought that was pretty cool because I've said before, and I'll say again, the 5e bones were okay. At that time, a decade ago, it was okay. Orbital Air asks if the GWOC, the Great Underground Overland Gaming Convention, will be in Orlando. Yes. Yes, I would host it somewhere local to me. I'm not going to be down near the tourist drag, guys, because the cost would be astronomical. I would have to find a local hall or something up here in my borough. But yeah, everything where I am is considered Orlando by and large by people, even though I'm actually technically a couple of towns away. Hello, Dungeon Damsel. Hello, thank you for stopping by. Hey everybody, Dungeon Damsel has a really cool channel. They do actual plays of what are you guys? Is it Shadow Dark? You guys are doing over there, Dungeon Damsel. But check out her channel. She has a fun channel. Despite the fact that I keep super chatting and asking for spheres of annihilation, am I just throwing my money down a bottomless pit, Dungeon Damsel? Anyway, but do check her channel out. But my hope, my desire is to do that convention before I die. Please help me get to 10,000 subs here on YouTube. Really, I just want them teleported into the Tomb of Horrors. What? You can do it. I know you can. I know we just met, but I have faith in you. I have so much faith in you. But it is a fun channel. You hope to see me at GaryCon. I maybe someday, Dungeon Damsel. I went a couple of years ago. Well, last year rather. And a few years before that, thanks to friends, maybe I'll be able to do it in 2025, 26, 25. But anyway, so, oh, and I feel terrible about, not saying this. Oh, thank you, Dungeon Damsel. I love you too. Let me just mention real quick. Tim, I was live streaming with Tim. Go check out his channel too. Timothy Imholt here on YouTube. Great eclectic channel, and he has amazing guests. His guests really are the best part of it. So anyway, I just want to make sure I'm not missing any chat over on the Twitter machine, and I am not. Hey, if you're out there on Twitter and you want to say hi, say hi. You're putting my foot down. I'm not allowed to die until we get to roll dice together. I don't plan on it, Jimmy, but who knows, right? We might have even passed each other in the halls, Dungeon Damsel. Anyway, wow. Counting folks over on Twitter, we are at 102 across the globe. Thank you, everyone who's watching right now. So I want to, there's something I want to talk about, and I actually thought like back on Friday or Saturday I'd have another hot slice of Wizards of the Coast stupidity, but things have kind of blown over. But I still think I saw you, Dungeon Damsel. We didn't know each other at the time, but yes, I did see you. Anyway, Miss Bella, how are you? Anyway, so I want to talk about something again. I thought this was like, I was primed. I was poised. I was like, here we go again, you know, to quote the great, poet warrior. Ah, shit. Here we go again. Somebody's going to have to super chat me because I just blew my, monetization for this stream. Anyway, so a thing happened, and I'm gonna share this to the screen. Now, I wanna before I post this up here, the individual I'm about to talk with, they and I are not affiliated. I don't think they follow me on any socials or anything like that. I don't know them on a personal level. I don't know if they're I think we're in very different orbits because they focus just on new D&D, and you guys know I focus almost exclusively on classic D&D, except insofar as the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st, 32nd, 33rd, 34th, 35th, 36th, 37th, 38th, 39th, 40th, 41st, 42nd, 43rd, 44th, 45th, 46th, 47th, 48th, 49th, 50th, 51st, 52nd, 53rd, 54th, 55th, 56th, 57th, 58th, 59th, 60th, 61st, 62nd, 63rd, 64th, 65th, 66th, 67th, 68th, 69th, 70th, 71st, 72nd, 73rd, 74th, 75th, 76th, 77th, 78th, 79th, 80th, 81 We did say, okay, that's wonderful. That's wonderful, Dungeon Damsel. I wish I'd known you then. I'd have bought you a carrot. Anyway, we move in different orbits. I'll talk about the industry, but this guy's all about 5e. And his name is Jordan. The PH is silent, but let me be 100% clear. You know, this, first of all, this is all good. You should not have a reason to do this. If you're going to subscribe to the guy's YouTube channel or follow him over on Twitter, hey, Michael Dale, thank you very much. Brought to you by IGN Sucks. Absolutely. I really appreciate that. So this kicked off on Friday. Now, for those of you who've been living under a rock, back at Gen Con, as is tradition, a new edition of D&D was released. Yes, it's a new edition. It's 6e. Stop trying to call it D&D Forever or Beyond or whatever descriptive you want to tack onto it. It is 6th edition. I don't care if you say it's backwards compatible with 5e and therefore not a new edition. 2nd edition, called itself 2nd edition. And if I say I prefer 1e over 2e, I can promise you I will have 10 fans of 2nd edition jump into my mentions, into the live chat, into the Discord, on the message board post on Facebook telling me, well, 2e is just 1e. It's 100% compatible. It's the same game. No, it's not. It's a new edition, is what I'm saying. So a new edition of books drops. Travis Fox, why you? Oh my gosh. Anyway, see what I say. There's at least one. So they released the books. They released the players' handbooks, and they told influencers, because Wizards of the Coast has people that they prefer to talk to and get things on YouTube because they want to shape the narrative. They want to get ahead of what happened last January with people like me. And I say that you can yell at me about this. Quintus Voltus, hello, thank you for stopping by. My channel, like, I had people saying, hey, I checked out YouTube on a VPN, logged out like on a virtual machine, and you're on YouTube's front page, Bill. Like, for briefly. It's like they were screwing up multiple times a day, leaks about Wizards of the Coast's stupidity when they accidentally, the OGL were coming out. And I was reporting, just stuff would roll in and I would just be like, oh crap. And I'd do a video, I drop another video, Kotaku or Polygon or EN World or somebody. And that happened all year long. So Wizards of the Coast has tried to get ahead of that. And they now, they have influencers and they try and shape the discussion. So they told their influencers, hey, here's a PDF of the player's handbook and here's your comp copy. And you can do a flip through on your YouTube channel. We're totally cool with that. Well, then this happened to one of them. And I'll read this. This is what YouTube sent to Jordan. Hi, Jordan. We received a copyright removal request for your video. Based on applicable copyright law, we removed your video from YouTube. 2024 PHB flip through D&D. Content used, Dungeons & Dragons Player's Handbook, unreleased 2024 edition. Content found in entire video. Removal request issued by Wizards of the Coast. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Are you drinking what I'm putting in your glass? Are you eating what is on your plate before you? Are you listening to the music that I put on your iPod Shuffle? Are you feeling the air conditioning that I am blowing in your direction? Wizards of the Coast, they didn't just say it was okay. They asked him to. They asked him to. And then they copyright struck his video. They copyright struck his video. Now, if you're not on YouTube, if you're not a regular out here on the U-est of tubes, oh, Dungeon Damsel, what's on my plate? What music? Well, whatever you want to listen to. And this, he explains, despite fulfilling Wizards D&D request for the flip through video, I was issued a copyright strike on my channel. Now, this is the important part, guys. This is super important if you're not on YouTube. 3 strikes terminates your channel. I don't think going over the 2024 PHB is worth losing my channel that I've been working on since 2017. 3 strikes terminates your channel. Now, I've known that for a long time. I quit streaming on Facebook because Facebook decided, and this was before I had theme music. This was before I had intro and outro music. Uncle Brat, hello. Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a minute. I hope you're well. There's no getting it back. Okay? You could be entirely innocent of anything, and Wizards of the Coast, or anybody, could issue copyright strikes, and YouTube will delete your channel. And once that final Rubicon is crossed, there is no coming back. Your channel will not be restored. Somebody, some sysadmin, probably with like an anime ear headset or something like that, Cardcaptor Sakura t-shirt, type something in, and your channel's gone forever and ever. And it just happens. One strike is enough to freak a creator right the hell out. If I got a legitimate copyright strike on my channel, now I've gotten copyright warnings like, hey, this stuff's copyrighted. Nobody has issued but this matches our copyright stuff. So you're not monetizing this. And I've taken those videos down. Like, you won't find them on my channel anymore. They're gone. Joe, I haven't had any. And I said in 2000, when I started making my own modules, if Wizards of the Coast tells me to stop, I'm probably going to have to. It's been 24 years and they haven't, so. But anyway, there is a happy ending to this, and let me see. I'm gonna scroll down and find this. So we'll go here because there's kind of a order of time here. So then this came up. The WotC rep is looking into it. I think there was a miscommunication between departments at Hasbro, but I hope that shines a light on how little mistakes can really hurt small creators. Now, I am way smaller than this dude. He's got like 20,000 subs or something like that. And hey, I don't begrudge him that. That's good hustle. And then finally, we got an update. Wizards D&D was able to clear this up. The strike was removed this morning. I've since set the video to private just because of all of the attention. Happy and relieved. So dude, set the video to private. I'm not attacking you, Dungeon Damsel, I promise. And you know, that's sometimes people get people get snippy with me, like, hey, they're a corporation, they're watching their bottom line, yada yada yada, this isn't out of Gary's basement anymore, man. This is a multimedia thing, man. It's bigger than it's ever been, man. This is just how the corporate world works. If you don't like it, make your own thing, man, with blackjack and hookers. And they metaphorically speaking put a squirt gun to this guy's head, but not a squirt gun with one in the chamber. And I know things have gotten fixed, but they literally told him to. Who is running things at Wizards of the Coast, where you have bought a section of YouTube? No offense to Jordan. And you can't even keep your chickens straight, man. What in the hell? What? I'm beyond outraged here. I'm not even mad. I'm just kind of agog at it. And somebody in the chat earlier said something, they'd sent the Pinkertons after a guy last spring because of a Magic the Gathering card kerfuffle. Which I still don't know the end conclusion to that, because dude pulled his whole YouTube channel down. He had about the same number of subs as I did, unless it's back up. If somebody wants to tell me it's back up, that's fine. I hear these stories from people that I know who still know people who work there, and they say, no, Bill, it's chill. There's still good people working there. There's still people. If you go through, they don't hate classic D&D. They don't hate old D&D art, despite the fact that I got into it with somebody on a live stream and then on Twitter, and I just eventually was like, because he was like, old D&D art was embarrassingly bad. Like, it was shamefully bad. And I'm like, fuck you, dude. Uncle, but I'm not, I'm just, it's kind of like, let me tell you, Uncle Brett, one night when I was driving home from my buddy Kevin's house, I passed a car, and I stopped and made sure everybody was okay. I passed a car that was resting on a guide wire that was holding up a power pole. And their left front wheel, their driver's wheel, was gone. Like, it was like balanced perfectly on this guide wire. And I was just like, how did that happen? I didn't ask them how it happened. I just said, hey, are you guys okay? They're like, yeah. And I said, you got somebody coming? There's a gas station up here. You need a lift to make a call. And they're like, no, we got somebody coming, man. I was like, cool. So that's what this is like. So I'm just kind of how did this car get on the guide wire? Why is it missing its driver's side front wheel? What happened here? And Pomper Knight points out several other creative. So this wasn't like one guy. Okay, this wasn't one person. This wasn't like this one slipped through the cracks. Really sorry. Somebody had to take the time to look at this and then issue a strike. Don't tell me that the people in charge of things love the hobby. Yeah, it's a big corporation, but they love the hobby. And then show me things like this. This isn't the situation with the Pinkertons. This isn't where you could say, yeah, but they thought he stole the stuff. This is literally telling somebody, yeah, go ahead. Make yourself a sandwich. And then, you know, you get into the pantry and out of nowhere, you're tackled. I don't even know how to process this. Now, this dovetails into something else. I was not going to mention this. I was not going to bring this up. And I got to see if I can find this real quick. Somebody, another YouTuber named Bob the World Builder, mentioned me on YouTube. And I guess this guy is huge. Don't know him, don't know his channel, don't know his content. But him and another super duper big YouTuber both mentioned me because last week there was a big blow up with Wizards of the Coast sponsorship and D&D YouTubers. And somebody tagged me in a tweet. And they said, Alyssa Hazel. They didn't say Alyssa Hazel. Alyssa Hazel, hello. Good to see you, dear. Alyssa's going to be on the show in October. We're doing a special Saturday sit-down interview event with the Alyssa Hazel, and I'm looking forward to it. Guys, I'm going to warn you, Alyssa is like, she will bully you into positivity. It's the weird, I've never seen it before. I've never seen somebody break out a truncheon and threaten you with a good time. I'm looking forward to it. October the 12th. That's right. So Dungeon Professor and Bob the World Builder. And I will not resist. I've tried. Dave sent 74. I'm just getting through with that. So these guys released their videos and my name got mentioned in the videos. And this has to do with the thing that went on with Gen Con and a bunch of creators getting copyright strikes. Because when these videos dropped from Bob the World, when the tweet dropped, I was tagged in the tweet. And I was like, this has no bearing on me, because the person who was asking was like, what would you shill? Like, what is your price? And do you have a price for saying nice things about Wizards of the Coast? And, you know, I got to keep the lights on, and I got to keep my family fed and things like that. You know, I mean, there's a degree of self-pride that I do have, but I'm not going to discuss that. But for some reason, this person tagged me and a couple of other creators Like, will you say now that you won't take money from Wizards of the Coast? And I just kind of looked at it for a while, at the thread for a while, watching people comment back and forth. And so I considered it. And I thought about it, and I just let it go. And then Bob the World Builder and Professor I'm sorry, somebody told me up the stream. I apologize. Dungeon Professor, we're making videos about this. And the thing, this is ancillary. This is ancillary to that Dungeon Craft. Thank you, Pauper Knight Dungeon Craft. I find it funny that in both of their videos, they're like, so this tweet went out and they asked these people. And then they start talking about those people. And I'm like, talk shit on their shoes. You know? Maybe I should have gotten in the thread and gone swinging so that I actually would have been deemed worthy of mention by them. Because I can tell you one thing I'm not doing. I'm not out here buying clicks. I'm not out here buying, subscribers. You can do that. You can hit up social media promotion companies and just buy, like, I want to do the con. So I'm going to invest $1,000 and I'm going to buy a block of 1,000 subscribers. And I'm going to do that every 3 months and say, hey, look, my channel. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Is that working? Oh my God. Am I too proud to take this? Well, you're not asking me to slag my favorite edition of D&D, Uncle Brat. So no. Thank you. Thank you very much, Uncle Brat. He's an awesome guy and an awesome supporter of this channel. So I just, it's just like, I can't even. It's like, well, this person was asked and this person was asked and then this guy. And so, and then I'm like, and I had people like pinging me like, hey, you're mentioning this guy. So I was like, wow, really? This guy's got like hundreds of thousands of views. Let's see what this is all about. I didn't expect him to come in and, blow me or anything like that. It was just funny. Hey, Cyrus Wright. $50 is $50. Yep. So that's I just feel like it actually kind of grew out of that thread on Twitter. And then, the ultimate end of it was there are people who were taking money from Wizards of the Coast. Well, taking something in return, taking something with a monetary value from Wizards of the Coast. And then it backfired on them. So there's your answer, guys. No, I wouldn't, because they're bad business partners. They have literally shown that it is a poor business decision to associate with Wizards of the Coast on social media, because they could damage my brand. They could hurt my presence. So I won't be. Is that an answer to your question, person who started the thread? And Bob the World Builder and Dungeon Craft. Is that an answer? I know you didn't ask me. Little old 6,000 and some odd actual organic, hard worked for subscriptions, me. But just in case you actually gave a damn. And that's all I have to say about that. Let's talk about the rest of the week. So tomorrow night, right here on this channel, guys. Now, let me tell you something. I I Dungeon Damsel, I don't know if you've ever watched the live streams. I don't know. With 163 of you guys out there, I don't know if you've ever watched the Tuesday live stream, but dig this. Tuesday nights, we play first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons on live stream for you guys. And I know you might be thinking, well, so what? Lots of people play TTRPGs on stream. A lot of folks ask me about how do I play first edition AD&D? How can I, this, that, and the other. And so let me tell you, if you watch that stream, if you have a question about how we play first edition AD&D, why we do certain things, why certain rules work a certain way, then ask in the live chat. Please ask in the live chat. Whether you're watching over on Twitter, whether you're watching right here on YouTube, ask how and why we do the things we do. And if I don't answer it, one of my players might, or they might tell me, hey, Bill, Joe Kaufman has a question about this. Boone Flyer, hello, good to see you. I'm doing well, thank you. He has a question about initiative and segments. And if I can answer it quickly without bringing the game to a screeching halt, I will. Or maybe one of my players will, or someone in the audience might. The point that I'm making is, guys, our Let's Plays, our live plays, our actual plays that we do are not passive affairs. I want you to feel like you can look at this stream and you can watch and you can listen. You can say, wait a minute, did he say a -2 armor class was good? Why? Why is lower armor class better? Or whatever. Maybe you've never played AD&D. Maybe it's been a long time since you played AD&D. Maybe you're just starting playing AD&D. And you have a question, please ask it. Please ask, and we'll do our level best to answer your questions. And again, sometimes my players catch them. Sometimes folks in the audience catch them. Sometimes I catch them. But this is not just like, oh, okay, well, I guess people are playing D&D, whatever. So again, whether you're out there on Twitter, or whether you are over here on YouTube, then please, absolutely, positively, unquestionably, if you have a question, ask in the live chat. Ask in the live chat, and I'll do my best to catch it. Travis Fox says descending AC is best. No disagreement from me. So that's Tuesday. Wednesday night. I don't know if my co-host Kyle is going to be here. I will ask him. If Kyle isn't going to be here, let's see. I think we can find something to deep dive on these shelves. I think there's probably a D&D module kicking around here that we haven't dug into. So that's Wednesday night. Either Kyle is here and we're doing hex crawly stuff, or it's just me and we're going to be doing a deep dive on a classic TTRPG product. Thursday, we'll definitely be deep diving a classic TTRPG product, maybe with a guest. I don't know yet. Thursday nights, let me tell you what, Thursday nights are typically the nights I like to have guests. So, if somebody wants to come on, I can. But I make exceptions. Danny wants to do an Against the Giants deep dive. Already did one of those, Dan. We did the entire GDQ series. Joe, you can see the chat on the replays. It should be up. It should always be up. Um, but anyhow, so yeah, there's always there's always something going on Thursdays. So if now let me just throw this out there. Yes, the keep also, Danny. If you if you're a creator, if you have something you want to talk about, gosh darn it, if we just get along, and do you have something you want to get off on your, let me know. Let me know. Okay? I love having people on the show. And I know it's not on a Thursday, but again, Alyssa, are you still out there? Aggressively positive, frighteningly positive, not in a cultish way. She's brutally positive. There's no escape. You're not going to go sit in the corner and despair. You're going to go over in the corner and you're going to mope and you're going to fumble with your phone and try and bring up some Bauhaus or Sisters of Mercy. And when you hit play, it's going to be the doom music. It's going to be the only thing they fear is you. And from across the room, you're going to see her eyes flash red and you're going to start having a good time. Thursday is your path, and that's fine. We'll get you playing AD&D. Don't worry. We'll keep praying for you, as we say here in the South. UK2 and UK3 don't have them. We'll get them. If people want deep dives on stuff, I'll dig them up too. A Stardust positivity, absolutely. Smile and praise until it is done. The only thing they fear is you. Hankering for cat. We've almost got her down to AD&D, guys. We've almost got her to AD&D. That close. Anyway, so yeah, but Thursday we'll deep dive. But always, if you've got something you want to talk about, and guys, it's okay. Yes, I've had Errol Otis on the show. I've had, my first ever interview I did once upon a time was with Gary Gygax, Alan Hammock, Tracy Lesh, Dave LaForce. But you know what? All my guests are on an equal footing as far as I'm concerned. I don't have you on the show just to have famous people on the show. But I will tell you, I will tell you that also coming up this autumn, we haven't settled on a date yet. Speaking of positivism, Alyssa, this should put a smile on your face. Laura Daniel is coming back on the show. I know how much you guys enjoyed having Laura on the show, and so we're gonna have Laura back this autumn, and I'm very hyped about that. She is in a production right now, and I forget what it's called, so to hell with me. But she's in production right now, so she's kind of busy. But I'm looking forward to having Laura back in a few weeks. Stephen Puck, hey, if I could reach out to the guy. I did get Ardu and Grimoire books. I have them. They're impossible to read. But I will do my best if you guys want an Arduin deep dive. I'm not going to pull them down because you guys know what happens when I grab stuff and try and take it off the shelf. I have them there over there. EPT, that is awesome. That is fantastic. Thank you for the message on Twitter. I will check that out, Wheeling Dragon. But yeah, we can do a deep dive on Arduin someday. Michael asks about a book or a module. Yes. I have done a review of Twitching Light, which is an anthology that Alyssa has written. This is fantasy, weird horror, straight up horror, poetry. So if you guys are wondering, like, what, like, okay, you keep saying author Alyssa Hazel, author Alyssa Hazel. What is their stuff like? Get a copy of Twitching Light. I can almost guarantee you, regardless of what genre you enjoy, there's going to be something in here you like, and you'll know how she works in that field. Now, I bought the third test, which, as I understand, we're getting a sequel to very soon. I'm teasing you, Alyssa, but I bought the third test, which is a very cool science fiction novel. If you guys dig the Traveler vibe, I don't know if that's what you were going for, Alyssa, and we can talk about that when you're on the show. It's got like a good Traveler-esque vibe to it, very much so. Definitely, this one is a good one too. And guys, I promise I'm not saying this and being positive because she's threatened me if I don't. I promise that's not the case. Help me. Hey, Volcano God sneaking in there. I've done let's Volcano God with a joke. What's a yeah, right. But yeah, no, we've done Dark Tower, The Gleam in the Eye of Shit. I don't think I have an Orange Tagle Manor again. So we could maybe do Tagle Manor one of these days if you guys want Tagle Manor. Yeah, I've tried, Danny. See my previous statement about, you know, Doom, the only thing they fear is you music playing when I try and step away from the positivity. You're not going to mope, are you, Bill? No. I'm fine. Everything's wonderful. But anyway, put Uncle Brad's super back up there. Jorge, the Monday Mini was a rant about not having a Monday Mini. Wow, 185 of you guys viewing. I must be doing something right. You will offer Baltron's Beacon for a deep dive. Okay. And it's good to see you again, Danny. Let's see. There's something else. Oh, it is time to talk about the obligation. The obligation. I mentioned this. I did a video about this on Gary's birthday on the 27th, and I am now going to revisit this. I'm going to spare you guys the long story. Some dear friends have given / donated a huge collection of first edition AD&D books to me. They are wonderful people. And I told them when they gave them, I was like, you can put these on your store shelves and flip them. And they're like, take them. We want you to have them. I have them all. I got a Dungeon Master's Guide. I have purchased a World of Greyhawk folio. I will be adding a couple more modules. Mage's Musings is donating an Oriental Adventures, and I'll be adding a monster manual. I am looking for someone. I feel like it's a Front 242 song, you know. I'm looking for this man who wants to play D&D. Someone you know, maybe you haven't even met them yet, or maybe you don't know this about them. Someone you know is, they're not doing good, and they're not going to be doing good. They're on the skids. They're paycheck to paycheck. Their entertainment budget is like, you know, watching YouTube on their phone or something like that. They want to play first edition AD&D. Maybe they had the books as the kids and they lost them in the moral panic. Maybe they had the books all the way into their adulthood, and then when the prices of classic D&D started kicking off, they were like, I got to eat. I got bills to pay. Maybe they lost them in some tragedy. They don't have the means to play first edition AD&D. They don't want Osric, and diddling around with the PDFs on a crap computer or crap phone or tablet or whatever is not something that they want to mess around with. And they're not gonna easily have the means. Maybe it's a kid, maybe it's an adult, maybe it's a whole family. 2023 was a year that could have gone really, really bad for me. It really could have just been like a tire mark, you know. And a lot of people step up. A lot of people stepped up. My audience, you guys, sent my wife and I to Lake Geneva for almost we were there from like Tuesday to Sunday for GaryCon. It was amazing. And then there were funds left over from that the same people sent me to Alabama to watch the Crimson Tide play football at home. Roll damn Tide. And I mean, just so many blessings. So many wonderful, helpful things I've gotten. So if I can share that, if I can pay that forward, I'm not selling them. And I'm sorry if you're out there like, yeah, I could use a spare set. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I don't want them to go to somebody who's just going to turn around and flip them on eBay. You know? $200 classic Dungeon Master's Guide, out of print, illegal, no longer made, no low ballers. I know what I got. I really don't want somebody like that to get the books. Now, once a gift is given, you know, it's out of my hands, right? Maybe I give these to somebody and they're like, I can't find anybody to play with. And once again, I got to keep the lights on. I got to put groceries in my pantry. I got to put gas in my car. I got to get my car fixed. I got a bill to pay. So be it. But I want these to go into the hands of someone. Orbital Air, get out. I'm kidding. Daniel, it was the Arkansas game. I want them to go into the hands of someone who'll love them and who will play them and we'll cherish them and maybe introduce a family member or two to classic D&D. And the cost of getting physical copies off of eBay is prohibitive. I don't have to show you guys. Even the print-on-demand copies off of DriveThruRPG, still, that's a chunk of change. So I want this collection of first edition AD&D books to go to someone who wants and needs them. So, and we'll call them George. That's right. If you know someone like that, please reach out to me and let me know. I'm not going to make any decisions immediately. You might think, it's the perfect storm. This is family of 8. They're living in a 1-1 apartment. Dad has to take the bus to work. You might have the perfect storm. Somebody else might have a perfecter storm. So I'm not going to make any decisions right away. I'm gathering data as we go. Now, my friends over at Gaxland Games, that's Heidi Gygax Garland and Eric Garland. Full disclosure, I have done work for them before. I will I will let them know when I know they are going to pay for shipping. So wherever they have to go. One thing I do want to include in there, a bespoke, just like a soft cover quickie. I sent the PDF to Lulu reprint of the Unexpurgated Deities and Demigods, the one with Elric and Cthulhu. I'm going to throw that in there because gosh dang it, just because you're on zero budget doesn't mean you can't enjoy a rare classic. So if you know somebody in that circumstance, I want you to reach out to me and I want you to let me know. I want you to tell me, Bill, my cousins, brothers, uncles, kids, this happened. And I will weigh all of these. I will look at these. And no offense meant, but if you're just like, yeah, I could really use a spare set so I don't have to play with mine. Nope. If you're rubbing your hands together thinking, I'm going to cook up a shaggy dog story and I'm going to get these and then flip them on eBay, please don't do that. Please don't do that. So that's the thing to say, and I'm going to talk a lot about it. Once I have the whole, I've shared a picture of the stack, which I don't know where it's at. The photo, I mean, the stack is on a shelf in my office. I don't know where the stack is at, but I will, once everything is all together, I'll get a nice family photo of it for you guys. All right. So let me know. Let me know what I can do for someone. It is part of paying forward the blessings that I was given in a time when I felt like there were no blessings. So that is still a thing, and that is going to happen. Thinking of things. Michael Connor, hello, Unbreaded, hail to you. 201 people watching on YouTube and on Twitter. Thank you all. Guys, if you have not subscribed to me here on YouTube, if you're one of those hundreds of people watching the live stream right now, please click the subscribe button over on YouTube. I'm at The Dungeon Delver on YouTube. Oh, I figured it was a joke. But other news. Okay, so I heard this because folks were asking me, and we're talking about Osric. A bunch of you folks reached out to John about Osric and Monsters of Myth. They have both of them in stock. Black Blade has both of those in stock. So go purchase from them if Osric is your thing. If Osric is your thing. And the only other thing I'm going to mention about the D&D, let's just call it a holiday giveaway because the holidays are coming up. They're going to be here real soon. If you guys are sitting back going, oh, the holidays, this is still the summer, Bill, what are you talking about? Trust me, you get to be my age and like late June rolls around and you're like, yep, you got to start thinking about Christmas. Because you reach my age and we're going to, gonna die soon, so but I'm kidding guys. But yeah, the holidays are right around the corner, guys. So the holiday giveaway, the only other thing I'm going to mention about that is I have a very small collection of second edition books. I have a player's handbook, I have a dungeon master's guide, and I have a set of encounter cards. You could run a cromulent 2E game with just those things. So if you know somebody who's in the same boat, but it's 2E that they're hungry for, well, I've got a little something for the 2E fans too. I have not heard all the details about that Boon Flyer. So let's see, what else? Was there anything else that I wanted to discuss tonight? We've talked about the week ahead. We've talked about the giveaway. We've talked about ranty stuff about why there's not a miniature tonight. Oh, I'm going to show this off when it gets here, but I did a thing. I supported my postal service. I ordered the D&D stamps, and I will show those to you guys when they get here. By the way, if you go to USPS.com, I don't know if you can do this if you're outside the country, but if you go to USPS.com and you look, guys, if you search for Dungeons and Dragons, you know what? Let me show you guys this. This is bonkers. I was like, oh, are you kidding me? Let me get a tab up here. This is like, if you had told, say 14-year-old me, that's 40 years ago, that this would be on the, that this would be available for the post office, I wouldn't have believed you. So let's see. Let's do this. We'll do it. Hell, we'll do it live. You know what? I've gotten $60 in supers tonight. Fuck it. We'll do it live. See, this mania, this is all Alyssa's fault. She is not off camera pointing a flamethrower at my head, I promise. Okay, so let's go over here. Let's search. Let's see. Is it here? Here we go. So these dropped on August 1st. This is what I'm going to be picking up. The Dungeons and Dragons stamps. But let's go back. Is it shop.usps? There we go. Okay, so guys, they have a store. They have a D&D merch store at USPS. Now, one thing I'll tell you straight up, this stuff is probably not going to last. Like after the first of the year, I would say like when the holidays roll around, it's gone. So let's look at this stuff because this is cool. This is cool news here. I may do a short video on this tomorrow. Look at the merch they've got. They've got the without die cuts. You know, there's some stamp collector out there who's like, this is nerd stuff. But I guess I have to get it because I'm a stamp collector. They got wearables. They got this beast right here. I've heard a rumor that Santa Claus may drop this. We'll have to see. And I know what you're thinking. Okay, Bill, it's all stamp related and stuff like that. No. Field Notes game books. Be me. Be a Gen Xer. Walk into post office. See D&D products. Look at that, guys. How freaking cool is that? You know what? Here, I'll make it nice and easy for you guys. And I'll even drop this over in the Twitter. If you guys want to check that out. For all you you people over in Twitter. So you guys can follow that link too. And just go and check it out. What do nerds yell at the stamp collector? Nerd! Hey, Uncle Brat, that's awesome. Uncle Brat just picked up 3 sheets. So there you go, guys. That is definitely something you should check out, and I think it's a fine way to wrap up. I cannot 212 people watching the live stream right now. Wow, and thank you all so much for watching. Jess, I hope you watched if you're out there. One of my mutuals over on Twitter. Do I consider Hex and absolutely, they're very nerdy, extremely nerdy. Well, Miss Bella, there you go. I mean, it's $17 for a sheet. Go purchase, buy. The link is right up in there. I don't know. Dumb question. Just a stupid question because I don't buy stamps. I would imagine the answer is yes. If you're overseas, like if you're Britain or Japan or Canada, hell, I don't know. Can you just go to USPS.com and be like, yeah, I want to buy those stamps. I want to buy those US stamps. Is that a thing? A Vorpal stamp lick. Ah! I'm just, I'm having a lot of fun. I wish tonight was. I'm glad tonight is first edition AD&D night here. The private game. I'm not about to launch into a thing. But I feel like energized, like I could keep going for another couple of hours. Probably because I took an uncomfortable and long nap in the middle of the day. Thank you, Uncle Brett. What is my favorite Avalon Hill game? Wow, that's a good question. Avalon Hill game. Like proper Avalon Hill game. You're not talking about Hasbro Avalon Hill. Kingmaker. I would say Kingmaker. It's strategic war game and feudal war gaming in the time of the War of the Roses. So probably Kingmaker. Oh, you weren't asking me. I'm sorry. Nordic Maelstrom was asking Orbital Air. Sorry. Circus Maximus, can't go wrong with Circus Maximus. The creature that ate Sheboygan. Nordic. Okay, let me tell you something. I want to answer this. I want to address this question. Um, at the risk of losing followers, at the risk of people dropping off the stream, and I have to go soon. Okay, I really do have to go soon. What is my favorite game, Kingmaker? Um, Let me say unequivocally, reward good behavior. Reward good behavior. If you buy it, they will recognize that there is still a market for it. Every order you put in through that stuff clinks down into a category. Now, there's an ultimate bottom line. There are people in charge at Hasbro, Wizards of the Coast, who don't care what you do as long as you give them money. Whether you're buying a D&D Funko of Eddie and money's getting back to them that way, or whether you're buying the latest and greatest, or whether you're buying a print on demand through Drive-Thru RPG. I'm not saying you have an obligation to do it. If you turn around and there's somebody on eBay who's got a set that's just in your price range and you're like, man, I want those classic books. I want my non-repro blue maps. I want my, nice, funky smelling old school books with that sort of almost cinnamon-like spice of 40 or 50 years. But if you show them that we're still out here and we're still spending money, at the very least, you keep it alive. You give them a reason to not turn the servers off. That's all I'm saying about that. Then get them on drive-through. I liken it to this. You go to the grocery store. It's your favorite grocery store. The deli is amazing. Their store brands are reasonably priced. Somebody who works in there, you probably wouldn't like them very much. You might not like the store manager. And it might kind of gripe you that your money's going in his pocket. But don't think of what it's serving them. Think of what it's serving you. I am not shilling for Wizards of the Coast. But it just so happens they own the lemonade stand. And if you want to play classic D&D, not Osric, not Swords and Wizardry, you want Greyhawk, Mystara, Dragonlance, Maztica, Spelljammer. Show them there's a reason to keep selling it. Let them strip mine off the top what they want. They can't damage your books. They can't undo the greatness that is AD&D. They can't take the black magic out of AD&D. So walk right in, buy the things you want, and turn your nose up at them and say, thanks, chump. I'm going to keep playing AD&D. That's That's what you do. Thank you, Lightmane. Thank you for the shout out. Lightmane's awesome. You guys should check out his channel. So that is my thinking on that. And guys, I have run right up against the start of my first edition AD&D game, so I'm gonna have to scoot on out of here. Listen, we got 220, we have hundreds of people watching tonight. Thank you all very much. Thank you for the comments over on the Twitter machine. Again, if you're over there and you're listening and you haven't, please come over here and subscribe. Even if you just want to go be back over there on Twitter watching, please come over and subscribe to me on YouTube. Okay, I'll be back tomorrow. We will be playing first edition AD&D. It kicks off at 9 Eastern US. Don't miss it. It's a lot of fun. It's interactive. I want you guys to ask questions if you've got questions. And we'll have a whole bunch of fun with that whole big mess of stuff. If you want to support the show on Patreon or via YouTube membership, the YouTube membership button is either right over there, or maybe it's down at the bottom of your phone. Patreon, you can support me there. Free modules for patrons. Well, not free modules, but at the $10 level, I send out modules to my patrons. I've got 3 in the queue. I just got to do the maps and then they're going out. So if you want to support the show that way, I super appreciate it. It does help keep the lights on. I love you all. Thank you all for being here tonight. Listen, drive, walk, bike, bus, train, plane, whatever you do to get home. But whatever you do to get home, please, 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 absolutely keep your eyes peeled for the dreaded owl bears. Love you all. Good night. Peace.
Have you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around. Some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle, way off course? Naked as a toad, all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks to